It all started with silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the kind that makes your chest feel heavy. Jason sat alone in his tiny apartment, staring at a rejection email glowing on his cracked laptop screen. It was the fifth one that week. "Thank you for your interest," it said. "But we've decided to move forward with other candidates." He closed his laptop slowly, buried his face in his hands, and whispered to himself, "Maybe I'm just not good enough." Jason used to dream big. He wanted to be a leader, a speaker, someone who could inspire people, but lately, all he felt was lost. He had no direction, no money, and worst of all, no belief left in himself. That's when his phone buzzed. It was a message from his old mentor, Mr. Allen. It said only 6 words: "Come to the auditorium tomorrow, 7 p.m. Jason almost ignored it, but something in his gut told him maybe this was the sign he'd been waiting for. The next evening, Jason walked into the auditorium wearing a wrinkled shirt and doubt in his eyes. The room was full of people confident, loud, full of energy. Everyone seemed like they had their life figured out. And then there was Jason standing in the back, trying to disappear. The lights dimmed. Mr. Allen walked onto the stage. He wasn't tall or flashy, but when he spoke, the entire room went silent. "Every single person here," he began, "has a dream. But most of you won't make it, not because you can't, but because you'll quit too soon." Jason's chest tightened. Those words hit him like a punch. Mr. Allen continued, "You'll tell yourself you're not ready. You'll tell yourself you're unlucky. You'll look at someone more successful and say they're just built differently. But let me tell you, they're not. They just refuse to stop." Jason felt something stir inside him. It had been so long since he'd heard words that raw, that real. Then Mr. Allen said something that Jason would remember for the rest of his life. "When you're tired, remember why you started. And when you feel like giving up, that's when your real journey begins." Halfway through the event, Mr. Allen looked at the crowd and said, "Who here wants to speak next year on this same stage?" Dozens of hands shot up. Jason's hand didn't. He looked down, too afraid to even imagine it. But then Mr. Allen's voice broke through the noise. "You in the back. What's your name?" Jason froze. Jason," he stammered. "Jason," Mr. Allen smiled. "Next year, I want to see you up here giving a speech. Deal?" Everyone turned toward him. Jason felt his heart racing. His first instinct was to say no. But then, for the first time in years, he said quietly, "Deal." The crowd clapped. It wasn't loud. But to Jason, it felt like thunder. That night, as he walked home, the city lights looked different. Maybe it was hope. Maybe it was fear. But for the first time, he felt alive again. A year later, Jason stood backstage, trembling. The same auditorium. The same mentor. But this time, he was the one about to speak. He remembered the months that led here. The mornings he woke up before sunrise to practice. The nights he wanted to quit but didn't. The times he failed, stuttered, forgot his words but still came back. Mr. Allen stood beside him and whispered, "Remember, don't speak to impress them. Speak to remind them that they're not alone." Jason took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. Hundreds of faces stared at him. The lights blinded him for a moment. Then he began. "I used to think success belonged to people who were special, smarter, luckier. But I was wrong. Success belongs to the ones who keep going, even when it stops making sense." The crowd went quiet. He continued, voice steady now. "Last year, I was sitting where you were, lost, broken, ready to give up. But someone believed in me before I believed in myself. And maybe that's why I'm standing here. Because sometimes, one voice, one moment, one speech can change your entire life." By the time he finished, the crowd was on their feet. Jason looked toward Mr. Allen, and for the first time, he didn't see a mentor. He saw the man who had given him back his purpose. After the event, people lined up to thank him, shake his hand, and tell him his story moved them. But Jason didn't feel proud. He felt grateful. He realized that life doesn't change in one day, it changes in one decision. The decision not to quit. The decision to believe again. The decision to stand up when everything tells you to sit down. And that night, as he walked home under the city lights, Jason whispered the same words his mentor once said to him: "When you feel like giving up, your real journey begins." Because the truth is, the speech that changes your life isn't always the one you hear. Sometimes, it's the one you give yourself. And that was the speech that will change your life. What about you? What speech or moment changed your life forever? If this story inspired you, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another powerful story from the Auntie Mae Show, where your mindset becomes your greatest power.